Hello, what is going on, everybody? This is Rocket League News. This is the series where I talk about all the information you guys are too lazy to look up. All the information of everything that's been going on in the last week in Rocket League, all in one spot. As always, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hit subscribe. You guys seem to be really enjoying this series. I'm glad that you guys are. As long as you guys are enjoying it, I'll keep putting out content for you guys. First up in the news comes from Ayjacks. There's been a scheduling update for RLCS Season 9. Due to the unfortunate occurrence that happened in Week 1 of League Play, what Ayjacks is planning to do now is instead of extending League Play by 1 week, they're just going to redo the schedule. And they're going to scrunch it all in to the same time frame that they previously had planned. This was posted to Reddit by Cynex_Ian. It says, "Hello everyone, in order to keep RLCS Season 9 on track in the wake of Cynet service disruptions earlier this month, we have a few updates to share regarding the schedule for League Play." Basically, what is happening is weeks 3 and 4 are being shifted. Week 4 will now be playing next week instead of week 3, and week 3 will be played March 9th. So if you guys look at a calendar, March 9th is 3 weeks from today, from this Sunday when I'm recording this. The reason they're switching weeks 3 and 4 around is because week 3 only had 5 matches played, while week 4 had 6 matches played. And what they're going to be doing on March 9th is they're going to be having a double header, which means NA and EU will both be playing on the same day. Also, that day is a Monday. So right after RLCS weekend, right after NA plays on Saturday, EU plays on Sunday, and then NA and EU both play on Monday. This is what Cynex is going to do to keep everything on schedule. Now, the reason they switched weeks 3 and 4 is because week 3 being 5 matches, it's easier to have a double header when the total amount of matches is 10 matches as opposed to 12 matches, which is what they would be playing if they did a double header with the week 4 schedule. So as you can see right now, next week for weeks 3 matches, it's already updated on Wikipedia. And as you can see, we'll be playing 6 matches next week. But then once you scroll down a little bit further, where you see round 6, that is the original week 3 matches, and those will be played on a Monday. And NA and EU will be played right after each other. So that is the scheduling change. So all that's really different is the week 4 matches will be playing next week. And then the week 3 matches will be going on a double header on March 9th. Next up in the news comes from Kronovi. Kronovi hit a giant milestone in his RLCS career. Kronovi hit his 300th goal. It was the goal to make them beat Cloud9 in overtime. So a very fitting goal for a well-deserving player. Congrats to Kronovi. I'm sure this won't be the last big milestone that Kronovi hits. As long as he keeps playing, he'll keep breaking records left and right. Now this next bit of news, this was another post to the Reddit. However, you didn't have to be on Reddit to know that this happened. Rocket League beat League of Legends in terms of viewership. Look at that. Tier 3 esport, my ass. Rocket League is fucking tier 1 if you ask me. Now, I will admit that Rocket League's peak viewership for the day was lower than League of Legends' peak viewership for the day, but there were only some moments when Rocket League was beating League of Legends. But at the end of the day, how dare the media call Rocket League a tier 3 esport and League a tier 1 esport when we get more viewers than it sometimes. So fuck you, media. Rocket League's an awesome esport, better than all the esports out there. There, I said it. But yeah, no, awesome. Again, just really, really good for Rocket League as an esport. This has really been opening some people's eyes on where Rocket League stands in terms of what tier of an esport it is. Really changing some people's minds. So it's very, very good. Next up comes from ESPN. ESPN did an interview with United's Ajax. Ajax obviously being a player for the Rocket League Pro Team United. Now, I won't play the entire interview because it will double the length of this video. But I will summarize it, and I will also put it in the description for anyone who wants to look at it. Ajax is basically asked about his life of being not only a professional Rocket League player, but for those of you who don't know, Ajax also plays CRL for LSU. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding Ajax right now, where should a professional player be allowed to play in college league? Because there is no rule against it. However, in real sports, a player that has played professionally cannot play on their college team. It's just the rule. However, there is no rule against it in Rocket League, but Ajax was asked about this in this controversy. He also gives his opinion on Retals. Retals, as you guys know, likes to throw shade at people on Twitter. Ajax talks about how he just doesn't like Retals because he's very cocky and can't back it up. A lot of shade being thrown at Retals' way as well. And he said that there is some beef between them, and if you want to hear Ajax talk more in depth about this, I'll link you in the description. Overall, a pretty interesting interview. Next up, we have another interview. This next article written by Jinx.tv Again, a very long article, but I will go over the important parts. Speed basically talks about what it's like playing with scrubkilla and just the kind of playstyle that they have. Talks about the change of a lot with scrubkilla, and then goes over his goals for the season. It's a very good, very interesting article. Definitely recommend checking this out. There's also a lot more questions that he gets asked, but the scrubkilla part is probably the most important to people's eyes. But he also talks about the Epic Games purchase of Psyonix, just maybe what your ideal LAN would look like, how Psyonix could improve, just many more questions that unfortunately I just don't have enough time to cover. But again, go and read the article. It's very interesting. And finally, this one doesn't really have too much to do with Rocket League, but for the entire esports industry as a whole. So Paul Chalner used to be a competitive esports player for the game Outrun. Outrun being an arcade game for those of you who don't know. It came out back in the 1980s. Paul Chalner was basically in the first wave of competitive esports players, and he is now writing a book on esports in general. Now, the reason this relates to Rocket League is because this is just very good for all of esports. This isn't just good for Rocket League. This isn't just good for League. It's just great publicity and a great way to tell the esports story, to help people see esports in a better light, to those people who might not think that it has any potential, that it has no merit, to those people who think that, oh, it's just a bunch of guys playing video games, when it's obviously so much more than that. So if anyone likes to read out there and they are interested in a book about esports, well, there is one coming out. I'll link you to the tweet that he posted on Twitter. You could find more information about it there. Also, JohnnyBoy_I follows him, so he obviously has to be a somebody, for those of you who've never heard of him. Now, before we go, as always, we're going to recap some of the best goals from this last RLCS League Play weekend. Now, I know I'm not going to be showing every single amazing goal from this last weekend. If you do want to see a recap of all the amazing goals, then check out my top 10 goals video when it comes out a little later this week. But for now, here's just a few of the really good ones. The first one we have is First Killer in Game 4 against Cloud9. He hits this insane negative angle redirect just to really put the game away. I mean, First Killer is just a mechanical genius on the field. It's so much fun watching him play. The second goal is by Justin, when Justin literally dumpsters on the entire team. Literally just whips out his schlong and flails it around in front of everyone. Just holy shit. Flight couldn't do a single thing. Justin's just too fucking good. Then the last one I wanted to show is Godsmilla's pool shot own goal. He forced KDOP to own goal this ball, and they were able to take the series over Vitality in a Game 5 overtime. It was just such an incredible goal. Yeah, those were a couple of the best. Like I said, if you guys are looking for more of a recap or maybe a top 10 goals, those videos will be coming out later this week. Tomorrow should be a recap of RLCS League Play, NA and EU. And then top 10 goals maybe Wednesday, Thursday. We'll see how things play out. And with that said, that is everything for the news this episode. So it's been quite an interesting one, especially with the schedule change for RLCS. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. I love having a discussion with you guys. It's always my favorite part about making these videos. It's really fun. If this is something that you guys want to see more of, please subscribe. I definitely will keep making more of these as long as you guys obviously enjoy them. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see ya. Peace.